This video is presented by EA Game Changers, thanking you to EA for providing me with a copy of the pack. Hello, hens. Sorry, I can't be threatening, I can't. Hey, hens, how are we all diddly doing? How's everybody holding up? I've decided to go for a red theme today. Red for Gryffindor, but also red for scary, threatening, violence. You know what? Green for ghoulishness. And today we're going to be doing a ghoulishness style build because you know what? EA are flirting with me. EA are flirting with me. The aesthetic of this pack is 100% just my general aesthetic, and I'm so excited to be here on this day and to be playing with this pack dressed as Bornhilda. I do like the red. The red's quite haunting. She's threatening. And I would like to be threatening on this day. Hey hens, how are we all diddly doing? I'm doing this voiceover in my dressing gown because do you know what? I'm going to be honest, open, honest and real with you. I'm on my period. I'm hormonal. I cried for a solid, 20 minutes the other day. What for? For nothing. For absolutely nothing. And my niece came in my room. She was like, can you stop crying, please? And I was like, I'm trying. So yeah, you know what? If I want to wear a dressing gown while I record, then who's going to stop me? None of you guys, because it's social distancing. My next door neighbours might stop me though. I feel really nervous recording now because I've got new next door neighbours, and don't get me wrong, they're lovely. They've been nice to me every single time I've seen them, which is one time because I don't leave the house. Nobody leaves the house. So I've seen them on the front one time and they were really nice. But there's just something so cringy about somebody else hearing you record. So if you thought that the real horror in this video was going to be the house, you are mistaken. It's the fact that every word that I say at a volume higher than this can be heard by my next door neighbours. I have considered moving my setup to that back wall just so they can't hear me. But then I'm like, am I overthinking? Because that is potentially a possibility because I do tend to overthink. But it was a bit loud. See what I mean? I'm overthinking right now. Oh, but it's just so cringy. It's like it's a very niche thing. But if you're a YouTuber or streamer or whatever, or influencer or TikToker or whatever, having someone like play your video in front of you while you're there, or like have someone listening on your recording, is the most cringy thing in the world because it's like nails down a chalkboard. And my dad, God bless his soul, when I'm editing, my dad always like comes in the room and stuff, not editing, sorry, when I'm recording, my dad always like comes in the room and sits down and like, oh, he wants to watch me and he wants to support me, and it breaks my heart because it's like nails down a chalkboard. I cringe. Anyway, these headphones are quite like noise reducing though, so I can't hear fucking anything that's going on around me. So usually my confidence gets up after a little bit, as it's doing right now, and as it did the other night at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was recording my last videos. But you know what? Apart from when I'm in front of this computer, I really don't make a noise as a neighbour. Like you wouldn't even know I lived here because I haven't been for the past 2 months. Hey. Anyway, I feel like I should probably talk about this pack, but you know what? I just simply don't want to. I built a haunted house. I had a lot of fun with it, but it's still livable. But you know, it's like Hogwarts on the outside. It's like do not enter on the inside. She lovely and warm, really nice and warm. I'd live there. I also used it for my video as well, for the actual review. Did I? I could be lying there. Oh, am I lying? I don't think I'm lying. I think it's in my review video, the house I used there. It's not in the galleries because I couldn't upload it legally, I think. But, you know, if and when I remember, it shall be on the galleries. Just leave a comment down below. Let me know. Anyway, you know what, babes? You know what? Let me tilt the microphone more close towards you. I just want to catch up how you all doing. I haven't streamed for a while. I'm taking the rest of January off streaming because this is something I want to talk about in a podcast. I have artwork for a podcast already made and like ready to go. I just need to actually sit down and record an episode because when I'm doing my makeup, right, that's when I decide all of the things for the podcast. And you know, I've got a good couple of episodes in my head so far. It's just talking about them. But one thing that I've struggled with YouTube, which surprisingly actually is also like, you know, when I had that breakdown, I think that was an autistic one, and I didn't know that they were a thing until I researched more about them. And I was talking to Steph Sims, love that bitch, about like being neurodiverse on YouTube, because everything, it's a neurotypical world anyway, so like the entire world is made for people who've got normal brains, and it's quite hard trying to navigate a neurotypical job when your brain's not neurotypical. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, I can't really like, sometimes things get too much for me. I don't even know if that's making any sense. Sometimes I can do things and sometimes I can't. Basically, in a nutshell. And especially with streaming, like that's something that's really actually like really got to me a little bit, because I look at people like Kayla who streams, and my mate Egg who streams, like they stream for like 3 hours, 5 hours, and I've always wanted to do that, because I fucking love streaming. Like I genuinely love it, and I wish from the bottom of my heart that I could be one of those people that stream for like half a day at a time, but it takes an hour for me to get overwhelmed on a stream. So usually my stream's like 1 to 2 hours, and my New Year's resolution in 2021 is to just accept that and not put pressure on myself, because nobody else is exactly putting pressure on me. It's all in the mind, and I think if I can let that go, the fact that like I'm never going to be the same as neurotypical creators, and that's okay. If I can really understand that in my heart and head, then I think I'll be a lot happier, because at the minute, or not even at the minute, because at the minute I'm doing it, like at the minute I am doing very, very well, but specifically like when I was daily uploading and streaming a lot more and stuff like that around the same time that I had breakdown, it's because I was putting neurotypical expectations on myself, and I might just have to navigate YouTube and Twitch a little differently, just like I navigate life a little differently, you know. But like even just saying that, the stress and like it dissipates, it's gone, and I really think that I just need to listen to my body. That's something that when I had that anxious breakdown and I was like fucking ill with that, that's one thing that's taught me, is listen to my body. So now if I'm like I need a day off, I take it, and I don't feel any guilt over it. If I take the pressure off myself, I find I want to do things more as well. So it's like Kiki's delivery service, isn't it? And that's very much my experience with YouTube and my breakdown. It was something that I loved, and then I took it too far, and then it didn't turn into something I loved. It turned into something that was really daunting, and then I lost all of my mojo, and then I got it back, and I realised how much I loved it. So don't push yourself. For example, I fucking love YouTube, right? And I'm getting a little bit more confident now, you can hear my voice. I don't even know if any of this is making sense, but my schedule before lockdown was always Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. That was always my upload schedule, and that always left me wanting a little bit more, and I never felt like it was enough. And then lockdown happened, and I started uploading daily, and that was too much. That changed my uploads from like 3 times a week. I've got enough time to, like, if I have an idea that's going to take a good couple of recordings and a good couple of editing sessions, I've got that opportunity. But if it's daily uploading, I don't really have the time to explore different ideas, which means that I'm doing different kind of content, like shorter content that's more easily editable, which I still do sometimes when I upload 3 times a week, but it does give me the option to do more types of videos if I do 3 times a week. But because my content tends to be like the highly edited kind, then uploading every day that had to stop a little bit, and then that really, it didn't feel like my content anymore in my head. I felt like the imposter syndrome really kicked in, and I think that just taking things at my own pace and doing things that I want to do, and you know what, you don't even have to be autistic to just follow this advice, but I am happiest in YouTube now. Like, this is my happiest point, because I'm getting back to just doing whatever I want to do, and I've stopped putting the pressure on myself with daily uploading. Daily uploading was fun at first, don't get me wrong, but you know, it got a bit much after 2 weeks. But one thing that I'm really lucky about as well, and I just want to take a second to say that, and it's not even just with me, it's generally in the Sims community, anybody is showing like any signs of not being very well, whether that be physically and / or mentally, you are always 110%. So I just want to say thank you, because I don't feel pressure. Like, if I'm not mentally well, I don't feel the pressure of being like, well, I'm going to let so many people down. In my head, it's, if I stream and I'm not mentally well, these people, not that you're still going to be angry at me, but like, you genuinely want the best for us, and I think that's really nice, because I just think, well, how lovely, how bizarre. But no, that's something that I think about all the time. Like, the amount of people that, like, if you need a break, take a break, we'll still be here. And you know what, yous always are there. This is not sponsored, I'm just parched, because this is the most I've talked all day. Oh, you know what, right, this I'm testing the waters with this video, because this speed build is like basically me talking shit, and this is kind of what I want to do in a podcast. So let me know. But I want to talk about not just specifically this bit that I'm about to talk about. That wouldn't be the podcast. It's very likely, like, I can understand where if you listen to the topic and then you're like, oh, you know what, no, that doesn't surprise me, I understand. But I mean, like, generally talking about anything and everything, that would be my podcast. But Pride and Prejudice, I watched Pride and Prejudice again today. I'm not gonna lie to you. And my mum was like, are you watching Pride and Prejudice again? And I was like, oh well, yeah, I watched half this morning while I was doing my makeup, and I'm just gonna sit down and watch through the rest. And then my mum was like, shout me when you press play. So my mum's just as deep into this fucking obsession as I am, but I just fucking love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to go back to a time like that, because I think it's, again we come full circle, it's the pressures of a modern day life, where in that time, I don't know, I just like the wallpaper, and that's that. But I think I also romanticize it a little bit, because I've said before, I wouldn't be an Elizabeth Bennet or Mr. Darcy if I was born in that time. I wouldn't even be featured in the films, because, you know, I'd either be down the mines or making a sarnie for my husband who's down the mines. So a girl can dream. But yeah, I just love that kind of time, you know. There's a place in the northeast called Beamish, and it's an open air museum, but it's got like loads of different villages of different going through time. So you walk through time and it takes you around it. And I love the aesthetic. Like my house, I don't own my house right now. I rent my house. My landlords are absolutely lovely. They live over the road from me. I love my landlords. If you're watching this, how are you doing? Long time no see. Corona. Stay safe. The only thing I do at this house is I want to put picture rails in the living room and in this room too. If you don't know what picture rails are, they're like a square. Am I making any sense? But I just want to recreate Pride and Prejudice in this house. Like, I want to feel like the middle class aristocracy during this time, because you know what? If I want to fucking roleplay as a Tory in my own home, I should be allowed to do that, because it would never be a reality for me in that time. It's like playing dress up, isn't it? Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be a raging Tory. Prepare for some austerity. Oh, hey. Right, well, I've talked shit for 15 minutes. I'm going to love you and leave yous, because I'm going to make a vegan sausage casserole for tea, I think. I don't know. I placed an Asda shopping delivery today, and God bless the man. I thought I'd woke up before my alarm. He was supposed to come at 7 to 9 in the morning, because I thought, new year, new me, I'll start waking up at 6. And then I woke up and I thought, I've woke up before my alarm. Maybe this is the life for me. But no, it was just because the man was braying on the door and I'd slept in for my delivery. So it's because I've got a new duvet cover, you know. You haven't had a new duvet cover since my first year of undergraduate when I lived in Leeds, and that was from B&M, and that was Coppers. So this new one is fluffy. It's just like down, but because I'm not comfortable with down, especially because the feathers stick into you, because it's so thick. I can't fucking ear out. It's like having a pair of these headphones and you try and wake up to an alarm with these headphones and you couldn't, and that's the exact same issue that I'm having with my duvet cover. Does anybody know, actually? Because I've bought 2 separate alarm clocks as well as my phone, and it's still not working. So if anybody's got any tips on how to fucking wake up on a morning, I might try Bart Simpson's trick where he drinks loads of water before he goes to bed. But then he did set his Christmas tree on fire, so, well, you can't have it all. You win some, you lose some. Love yous. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Bye!